So, question about the game.
Uh huh.
Um, you uh, so you have that augment on Derek.
Uh huh.
Does his AP is still increasing over time?
Well, is Dr. Zoo has the augment, has that
Oh,
augment, not
got
in
it,
Derek. Derek,
got
I
it.
Derek has a Derek's speed is 8 and will remain 8.
Okay,
But I might have increased his speed, or I forget what I did. No, I didn't. I gave him the anarchy, so no, he automatically has he starts off with 8 speed um, as a character.
gotcha. Um, so then I guess you've started a new level and the security level is back down to 1.
Yep.
Does that mean that Dr. Zoo's
Yes.
AP has gone down? Okay,
Yes.
got it.
Yes, it does. So he's always going to start hampered.
Gotcha. Is there a way to
Mm,
overcome that with a different augment?
yes. Well, no. So well, sort of. Like there's this one where if if you ever cloak, then with a cloaking rig, then you gain 6 AP for that turn. The other
Oh,
way to deal with it is by just increasing the a character's base speed. So at the in between the level, I increased Derek's anarchy, and
yeah.
that gives him a different ability. But it's also speed, which will add +1 to your base AP, um, all the way up to level 5. So with Zoo starting at 5, I could bring his starting speed up to 10.
Gotcha.
And I think I need to unlock that before I decide what I'm going to do with that. So, where'd Zoo go? There he is. But that thing's almost done too, so I guess I'm going to have him go over there. My next question is... Okay, so this is a bit of a weird one. Find 5 individual words that all start with the same letter, chosen by a random dice roll, which I have set up, that describes you in that describes you
Oh my
in somewhat
gosh.
non-obvious ways. So here's my
Oh,
little
Mendel.
random letter generator, and we're
Are
just
you
gonna
serious right now?
yeah, so we're just gonna choose a letter, and that's the letter I. So find 5 words that describe you in non-obvious ways that start with the letter I.
What? What is this? What is this nonsense?
It doesn't have
Uh,
to be super serious or anything like that. I was just looking for a question. I was like, oh, let's see what this is all about.
wow. You would.
Piercing scanner.
Um, what? Well, I definitely don't want to take like all like the normal words. I'm gonna figure out something else.
You figure out something else. That's
We
crappy.
must have triggered something in their telemetry. They're toggling the power onto some of the devices we've taken.
The letter I. Are you looking something
What a
up?
terrible. Yes, I'm looking up words. I'm trying to make sure that these are correct adjectives.
That's so cheating.
Whatever. You're cheating for giving me I.
It was a random generator. I can give you a different letter if you want.
No, it's too late now.
Bert, I don't want that. Gain power and speed, slow while cooling. Okay, well, I don't want that, but I guess I'll get that so I can sell it later. Do I want this chameleon movement thing or not?
You probably want it, I think.
But I don't have a cloaking rig right now, but it's a question of whether if I pick it up later, then... I guess if I pick it up later, then that's useful, but I can also buy it later. I think that the slot is actually going to be more useful, but I'd rather give that slot to Dr. Zoo, so I'm going to have him explore more while Dr. Zoo makes his way over there. I haven't seen any guards at all this.
Yeah, I haven't either. It's weird.
I think they're all hanging out somewhere else. They're all lounging about. It's their off day. They're not working. Oh wait, there's... You couldn't hear that because you don't hear sound, but there was a sound of a guard walking just now in the next room.
Neat.
So there he is.
There he is. Boom. Kill him.
I'm not gonna kill him.
Okay, knock him out.
I don't actually have you can kill guards in the game if you have the right weapon, but that does, regardless of difficulty, that does raise the alarm by 2.
Oh wow. Like completely 2 whole points.
Yes, two ticks.
Oh, 2 ticks. Never mind.
No, yeah, no, sorry, not 2 levels, but 2 ticks.
Gotcha.
And so once you hit level 6, that doesn't matter, but until then, that can actually be pretty devastating. I can't believe you need help to figure this out. Do I need to give you a different letter?
I mean, I'm just trying to think of all the adjectives that start with I.
Ignorant?
Hey, that works. Yeah, ignorant is my first one.
But you're not ignorant, are you?
I'm ignorant of adjectives that start with the letter I. Perfect. This is a very subtle way of saying that I'm ignorant.
Was that guard patrolling? Because if he was, that means he's going to come back.
Alright, ignorant is 1.
I think he was. Here's where all the guards are hanging out. Oh, and there's a robot, too. Wow. Wow. There's like 5 guards here.
Nice.
Well, I'm not sure if I want to go in this room anymore. Oh, gee. And there's a robot right there. Okay, guess what? I'm gonna shock trap this door.
I'm gonna say impromptu is my second word.
Impromptu?
Yeah. It can be impromptu. It can be...
Well, I guess I want to know how you see yourself as being impromptu.
I mean, there are a lot of times that I kind of take the conventional means of doing things and say, we're not going to do that now, and we're just going to do something completely different. And I think that I could be impromptu in my behavior is sometimes a little erratic or just a little unpredictable, I would say.
Okay, that's fair.
You don't know what I'm going to do when I'm going to do it.
This room got really hard. I wish I did have a cloaking rig right now because I could use one for this area. This is a little frustrating. I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, but I do know what I'm going to do with you. Let's run.
There are so many. Now I'm realizing I need to stick with IM and IN starting words because there are a lot of those.
Yes. Oh, I hope he doesn't see that through that open door.
Imposing. Yeah, that's number 3. Imposing.
Okay.
Because of my stature.
Okay. I'll take that. Even though that's a little obvious because I said non-obvious, but I understand.
Oh, fair point. You didn't say non-obvious.
I will also have sympathy for the fact that eyes are kind of difficult. I guess I don't know. There's a lot of INs and IMs though, so I don't.
True, and I guess I just started thinking about that. I guess I was still too ignorant of the fact.
Oh, that's just okay. This room's hard. Hi, guard. Man.
If I was... Oh. No. I don't think that's right. I was trying to think of, like, if I was inflammatory, if that would mean that I would become angered easily, or if I would be the cause of anger easily. And I think that would mean that I would be the cause of anger easily, and I don't think that's the case.
You inflammatory person.
Yeah, that's me.
Nice! That must be a camera and not a thing. No, that's a thing, isn't it? It's just... Oh, but I can't walk into the room. Ugh. I can open the door and not walk into the room. That's stupid. Okay. Oh, and I closed the door and now you seem... Okay. That was a bug. Okay, guess what? I guess I am going to start killing things.
There you go.
But I'm going to use... but I'm going to do it in... by taking over this drone and using it to shoot at somebody. And make people mad.
I'll go intense. I am intense.
Okay, guard, you lived a good life, but it's over now.
Intense and independent would be my last two.
Okay. I buy that.
So
Oops.
maybe you can give yourself a better letter than I. Actually, no. I hope you get a worse letter than I. I hope you get Q.
I don't know if you caught that, but so I shot the wow. So I shot the guard, and that increased this level by 2, but it also turned on all these sound detection things because it was within sound range of those 4 alarms. Those 4 sound bugs, and that also increased the alarm by a tick for every sound thing that I set off. So my alarm level instantly went from 3 to 5.
Wow. Nice.
And yeah, let's see if I'm going to have to rewind that or not. But I bet not because whatever. But hey, on the plus side, now I can move 10 with Dr. Zoo.
You can move with Dr. Zoo for days.
I can. Let's move him over here right now. And then I'll give myself a random letter. Let's see. V.
Ah.
Let's see. 5 words that begin with V that describe me.
And you can't use the word vivacious.
Why can't I use the word vivacious?
I don't know. I feel like that's the only V word I could think of, so... No, that's not true. I guess you can use vivacious then. What made you decide to want to do this?
Looking around.
I've done this kind of thing before.
Gotcha. It is interesting. We'll give you that.
Why is my power so low? I need to find a freaking thing. Maybe, actually, this thing is stressing me out enough now that I might just decide to go for the exit. But there's a lot of stuff I have yet to Really explore. What is that? Why is there an exclamation point over that? Is he down
Could I
there?
keep making up words that would describe me with the letter I? Like diplomatic.
No.
I'm diplomatic, but without the D.
That makes no sense.
Of course, it does. Mendel.
I
I'm going to say that I'm diplomatic.
I think I'm just gonna leave this area, because... Or I guess, I mean, it's not like I'm gonna continue this game, because I'm pretty much done playing this game, so I guess I could just, go a little ballistic here. Let's go a little ballistic.
Do it! Go for the chaos. Kill all of the guards.
I can't really kill all of the guards, because, the drone only has a limited number of ammo. I could try to see if there's another drone that I could take over, but V, something non-obvious. That's a V word. V is a pretty tough letter for me, actually. But I guess I'll say... I guess I'll say that I can consider myself somewhat volatile at times.
I don't know if I agree with that.
That's because you don't really see it. Like, it's I don't know how to describe it. It's a little bit... It's a little bit difficult to... It's difficult for me to get there, and it's not something that I would show very publicly if I did get there. But I can get there, and I guess also if you maybe think about volatile in the sense of in the sense of, well, I guess it depends. I guess that's stretching it a little bit, because I was going to say either a spontaneous or sensitive, but volatile, like saying that creating that association is stretching volatile to a definition that's not really there. So
yeah, I agree. Okay.
Investigating area.
So I guess that's one. Let's see. I guess I have to look up some V words.
Oh, pot meet kettle.
Oh no, I'm not ready to do that yet either, though. I'm not quite ready to do that. I need power, because this is going to be a long road if I don't get power. Oh, the camera guy saw me. Well, that's okay though, because the camera drone, if you kill it, dies permanently. Oh.
Yeah, take all those valuable things.
Hey, there's a V word. I'll use that. I think that I'm valuable.
You said subtle, Mendel. Everyone knows that you're valuable.
I guess, well, how do I put this? I think it's only really been recently that I could allow myself to perceive myself as valuable. I don't know that I actually believe that I'm valuable a lot of the times. I don't put a lot of, I try not to focus on myself in that sort of way, because I allow myself to consider myself valuable so that I can try to do as much as I can with that knowledge. for other people, but not for myself. So I see myself valuable so that I can use that to help people. I don't really try to see myself as valuable for my own benefit.
Gotcha.
That is unfortunate that revealed another camera that still makes that room unnavigable. Oh, except that it is navigable. Sort of. Oh, wait, and I also realized that there's a thing there that I could have gotten power from. Oh, well. Oh, and hey, that's an empty room, so guess what? That was useless to do.
Nice.
Oh, but I can still move 9, so it's not a big loss. Let's just go there. Vulnerable.
Okay.
I see myself as a fairly vulnerable person.
Vulnerable in what way?
Emotionally vulnerable.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that 3 or 4?
That was 3.
Okay.
Investigating area.
Damn it.
Investigating area.
That doesn't start with V.
He is a level 1 guard, so I can't shoot him. Guess who's using rewind? Did I open up that safe? Well, no, I did that camera. Oh, and I don't have to do that camera anymore because I know that it leads to nowhere, so... So I guess I could open up that safe, but then that's going to start up a demon. Let's see what that demon is. Ooh! Nice. Nice.
What is this?
So, as opposed to getting a virus that hindered me, there's a small percentage chance that instead something will go in your favor instead. So what it did was reduce the cost of all of my stuff by 1. Now, granted, I don't have a lot of stuff, but reduce the cost of all my stuff by 1 from a power perspective. So now breaking a firewall only costs 1 power right now instead of 2.
Neat.
So let's do that. Still thinking. I think we need to hide out in this room. Because I don't think I'm going to be able to hide out in that room. Actually, let's do this.
Investigating.
Okay, game, you're gonna go on a small pause while I think about this, because view words are hard. You got the easy letter. I don't know what you're talking about. I being a difficult letter.
Well, I'm not saying that your letter isn't difficult. I'm saying that I was also difficult.
I is
It's not like either
difficult.
one of us had T.
I think I is easy enough. It has more. It has a bunch of adjectives to it. You just didn't think it was easy at first because it didn't have any INs or IMs.
Yeah, fair point. Well, you're not thinking of any good VI words.
I can't think of any VI word that actually applies to me. I don't think that I'm particularly violent. I don't think that I'm particularly vindicative. I don't think I'm particularly vivacious. I don't think I'm particularly vivid. Or virulent. So yeah, VI is not working.
Yeah.
I'm not a vixen.
Not with that attitude.
Variable. I consider myself very variable.
Yeah, that's so accurate.
That's probably one of the more accurate words that you could actually get about me in a situation. Because I'm very deliberately variable. It's a camera, isn't it? Yeah. Let's take out that camera. Close this door. And then we'll say... Now I need to increase somebody's speed because I picked up a stim 1. And I want to be able to use the stim 1. Viable? Does that count? That seems a little cheating. That's not quite right.
I don't know. How are you describing yourself as viable?
As like, if you want to think about it in terms of, I guess like not doable exactly. In like, I was trying to think about it in the sense of easily accepting of, I guess, me thinking that a lot is viable, like easily accepting of things even if they're not exactly what I would want in lots of situations, and being adaptable. But viable, that's kind of more, that's not quite right, but that might do.
I'll give it to you.
So there you go. 5 V's.
That wasn't 5, that was only 4.
No, 4 was variable.
What was 3?
I don't know, but I asked you what we were and you said 3.
Yeah, you were 3 with variable.
No, 3 was the word before variable. I didn't ask you if variable was 3. I said variable was 4 after whatever previous word was. You said was 3.
Okay, you picked volatile. You picked variable.
I miss having tag ability. That makes this tag in this game is what makes this game winnable. Tag
What do you mean?
is a program that
Investigating.
shows the pathway of... So if you tag a guard, it will show you their pathway, like what you see if I hit observe. If I hit observe, I see that pathway, right? Tag will make that pathway visible for a guard if you can see them for the rest of the level. So you can slowly tag every single guard on a level and see exactly where all the guards are going to go at all times. And that saves valuable AP, because if I'm going to do that little look at their path thing, that takes away one of my AP.
Okay.
And that's very important. So, for anybody that's still listening to this, if they didn't get lost in all the blankness of the V, then get tag in this game, and there's no way that you'll lose unless you're a dumbass. And I've been a dumbass before with tag and lost. But if you're not a dumbass, then you can't lose if you have tag. Just can't.
I think valuable was your second word. I'm gonna make sure you go 5. You said valuable, and then you said variable. No, I think you said something in between.
I did. I don't remember what I said, but I did.
Whatever. We're gonna have to count it at the end of, or in the editing process of this video, and see if Mendel actually gave 5.
Oh, ye of little faith.
And if he did, then maybe I'll have to give like 5 more. An eye.
Oh, I can start killing again with this guy if I want to.
Do it.
And especially
create chaos.
especially since the level is already at 6, then all that's going to do now is raise the level in such a way that my Dr. Zoo is now going to be able to Dr. Zoo is going to be able to move a lot more. 1 plus 2, more.
What was that? Investigating.
Okay, so now, well, it's not going to show me by default now because I've already moved, but we'll see what happens when I move more. Oh, and it took that guy out, so that means that now I have to move Derek, otherwise he'll be seen right away. So let's go over there.
Guard down.
Guard down.
Surprise.
Investigating area.
Alright. I'll give you with all your V things.
I can move 12.
Oh, wow.
Yep. See, so
Okay.
that ability is so useful once you get to a level like this, because I could stick around here and try to avoid a bunch of stuff and eventually maybe be able to get really close to the exit without having to do a whole lot.
Gotcha. Alright, last personal question. What was your favorite moment of nienteForte?
I'm still processing. I've been thinking about this a lot. I've been thinking about... Hold on, let me make sure of my battery. I've been thinking about this a lot, because there's a lot of... nienteForte was so huge this year, in a lot of ways. Like, the ensemble was really professional and just really professional level musicians that is unlike what we've seen here. Like, and the featured composers are top-notch composers that have won all these awards and have done a lot of really great things, and all the music was really incredible, and the mission of nienteForte was really fulfilled because of it, and a lot of people in the audience of all shapes and sizes really dug it, and I felt... Oh, I already did that with this turn, so I can't do it again. A lot of people just felt really inspired and really moved by a lot of it, and even for some of the works that people didn't really like, because there was such a wide variety. That there was just a lot of positive energy, and the ensemble was just had a really great time, and the composers had a really great time, and a lot of people were really thankful to me for what I did to pull all that together, and there is a part of me that takes credit for that, but I think that I feel like I ended up stealing, in some ways, a bunch of spotlight that I didn't deserve, because Max did so much work to pull this festival together than I did, in a lot of ways. Like, he's the one that knew the ensemble ahead of time and was negotiated with them to bring them down, and was able to get all the money to be able to bring them down, and was able to get all the money to bring them down, and worked out all these things that I didn't have any involvement in, because I was, which I could have helped with some, but I didn't, because he didn't tell me that he was doing as much as he did, because he realized that I was going crazy with my other responsibilities at Tulane, because Mardi Gras was happening, and he took on a lot of burden himself, to help make this whole thing happen. So it was really great to get the recognition for the mission of nienteForte that much more realized, because that's exactly what I wanted. and to see it grow to where it is now, and to realize that I started that. I feel very happy about that, and feel good about the fulfillment of the mission of what nienteForte is supposed to was trying to do from the very beginning, and Max played a really big part of that. So that's where that comes from. Is it wouldn't be anywhere close to where it is if it hadn't been for Max starting his side of the collaboration last year and the kind of energy that he brought in. So my favorite thing is seeing that, even though there's a part of me that tries to avoid actually taking credit for it. I don't think that. I think that the idea that I birthed is now bigger than me, and not exactly. It is bigger than me myself. It's now something that I really consider equal partnership with Max, and almost an imbalance to Max, because this is something that he can devote more time to than I can, or at least he did, and I want to fix that next year. We both want to fix that next year, and also try to employ more help maybe next year to try to help ease some of that stuff. And but it's nice to see so much enthusiasm and so much warmth out of everybody who was involved, and for everybody to walk away feeling so great about a week's worth of concerts and lectures and master classes that were just so inspiring and so touching and so personal to everybody. It was pretty great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I hate that I missed it this year.
Oh man, dude. It was so good. So much good stuff. The vocalist did a solo, did Barrios Sequenza 3 live, and that piece is so dynamic, and she did such a great job. And I don't even know how to explain everything. Like the clarinetist, all of the musicians are amazing. Like the clarinetist, the flautist, the trumpet player, the violist, and the violinist. Like the oboist. All of them are so dynamic, along with the person that kind of put that together, and the conductor, and everybody involved. They just did such a great job. And the percussionist was a really cool guy, really low key, very talented, and just never looked frustrated at all, ever. Even though there's one piece that he played, the Aaron's piece, which was really amazing. Aaron's piece had a lot of I'm trapped in a corner. Aaron's piece had a lot of stuff in it that required Mike to change instruments and hit notes really accurately, all at pianissimo. Like all the stuff, he was moving back and forth so quickly between everything, but having to play at such a quiet, dynamic level, and it was he achieved it as if it was nothing. And I knew. And I don't think that people in the audience really appreciated exactly how hard it was, but I really did. I was just like, Mike, Jesus, man. Like, I don't know how you did that. That was amazing. Because he had, so for Aaron's piece, he had, I guess there's nothing for it but just to do this. He had a vibraphone, he had 2 vibratones that he had to sometimes dip in water. He had crotales he had to dip in water. He had a couple of things of styrofoam that he had to rub together. He had a lion's roar. He had a thunder drum. He had 4 temple bowls that were of specific pitches, and he had I think maybe 3 or 4 other things that he had to deal with. And he was seriously moving so quickly to make all that stuff work, and it was It was amazing to watch. It was quite something.
That's cool.
Yeah, I know you're not happy that I did that, but guess what? I don't care. Because I'm just gonna go. Oh wait, but there's this guy. Crap. He's probably. Well, I guess I should spend a turn to see what he's gonna do. He's gonna go that way, so I guess I go here, and then I go here. Your personal question is: what common item do you own a more expensive version of because the common version won't do? Does that make sense?
It kind of makes sense. I guess I would need like an example of one, like a generic one.
Like, I never want to use a cheap kitchen knife ever again. I never want to use a cheap butcher's knife ever again. Like, I bought a $50 butcher's knife, and I can never go back to just getting a butcher's knife from Walmart.
Gotcha.
Or buy dress shoes that, like, good, like cheap dress shoes. I can't buy cheap dress shoes. Like, both sets of my dress shoes are like $100 dress shoes, and that's not super expensive by some standards. But I could get $30 or $40 dress shoes, but they're all uncomfortable. Like, I could walk all day in my dress shoes and not get blisters and not feel like my feet are in pain, because, and I didn't realize how much more expensive dress shoes took care of that by their design. And so I can't do cheap dress shoes anymore.
Gotcha.
That's kind of the question I'm asking.
I guess I have a I don't know, maybe you can verify that this answer would be okay. But I feel like something that would definitely work for me would be, I never buy regular unleaded gas. I always put at least plus or premium into my vehicle.
Well, what grade does your tank ask for?
It could go with regular. Like, it would be fine with regular, but not in my opinion, because I can feel the difference. Like, I can tell the difference when there is regular gasoline in my vehicle because of how it moves and how it feels, like how the pedals even feel whenever I'm trying to accelerate or hit the brakes or things like that. Like, I can just feel a difference in how the car moves and runs in that situation. Because I've gone off of plus or premium gasoline for so long.
Yeah, that counts. I like that answer. Because I notice a difference too, but I don't usually ever do it. I only ever do it if I just need to clean out, like, do some sort of internal cleaning by just kind of getting the fire a little bit hotter. Yeah.
I know that it's really become a bit of a pain in the ass, because so it used to be that back when oil prices were a lot higher, the distinction at gas stations was typically about a 10-cent difference amongst the variable grades. So 87 octane, which is regular, was a certain number, and then 89 octane, which is plus, was typically 10 cents more than that, and then 93 octane, which is premium gas, was typically 10 cents more than the plus.
Right.
And that discrepancy over the past year has grown dramatically.
Yeah, I can see that.
To the point where so whenever I was towing stuff back to Alabama from New Orleans, because I had so much weight on the back end, I had to fill up for gas again, like at a not necessarily a halfway point, but kind of like a 2/3 to 3/4 point in the middle of Florida, and I was below where I typically like to have my gas level at whenever I'm filling up. Like it was below when the light came on, and I had to drive like a mile off the interstate to get to this gas station because it was the only gas station at that exit. And the gas price was so high for plus gas. Like it was about an 80-cent difference between regular and plus gas. It was so high I drove from that exit to the next exit, like drove back the mile to the interstate, got on the interstate, drove off the next exit about half a mile down to the next gas station to see if it was any better, and it was only maybe like 6 cents better, and I was just appalled. Mainly because the so what is this? What is day 2?
Oh, everything gets a little tougher. Through the days.
Oh, okay, neat.
The security level for the stuff gets higher. You're not going to see much difference now, but when things open up more, then the security level of things will get higher, and that means that there's more enemies and more types of enemies that you face, and things like that. But that's not going to be evident in this video, since this is the last question, and I don't know how much time we've taken on, but right now it's I assume that we've actually gone over an hour and a half. That
Wow.
that we should probably wrap it up. So
Fair point. Yep. Well, that was basically it. Gas prices suck now. I mean, gas prices are great, but also the discrepancy sucks. But I'm still not going to pay for regular gas.
Fair enough.
Cool.
Well, that is it, right? Like that's the
Yeah,
end of
that
the
was
questions.
it.
Oh, I already.
That was 8 questions.
Sweet. Well, let me. I guess as a closing thing here. Sorry, not clothing. Let me save this. I'll show you just one of the things I'm doing right now with my Endless Plus difficulty, so you can see where the game kind of goes later in terms of difficulty. Maybe if that's really obvious.
Memory image restored. Reestablishing.
This is a level that I'm doing with now in this game, where I guess it's not going to be that obvious exactly, but so the number of firewalls that everything has is a lot higher, for one thing. There's also this permanent advanced security level measure right now where this particular one adds a level of resistance to all of the guards. So there was that one guard in that one level that had 1 armor, so I couldn't shoot it with Derek because he didn't have a weapon that could deal with that. And this gives a +2 to everybody's armor. So the weakest enemy is +2. Also, when you shoot somebody or knock somebody down, they get a certain amount of KO damage, how many turns that they're down for, and that is reduced by 1 when you get to this point. And then there's other things too, and more enemies, different kinds of enemies. This guard right here has level 8 armor, but I can knock it down by breaking down his firewalls, and by breaking down his firewalls. So now his level is down to 3 because I broke down all of his firewalls. There's also, because of how advanced in the level that I am right now, you notice that, I don't know if this is really obvious to you, but these little things around the firewalls show that has a demon on them, which will have some sort of negative effect if I break the firewalls down to 0. And in this particular level, there's firewalls on everything. So anything that I break down completely is gonna probably have a negative effect. I got lucky enough that I have 3 of them that said, "Oh yeah, I got lucky. This one is increasing my AP, and this one is decreasing the cost of my stuff." But so yeah,
Wow.
there's a lot of stuff kind of happening in this level right now, and I'm trying to work it all out. Like there's this thing right here which I actually sort of care about, even though this game is kind of whatever. There's these 3 modules, 1, 2, and where's the third one? 3, that if I have to stand there for 3 turns in all 3, and that unlocks something. So, but I have to stand there for 3 turns in order for that to happen. And these guards are kind of going to like this one's going to be the hardest to get to because these patrols right now are kind of going like this. But also the patrols are going to change after level 1 because that's also a new security measure. That once this hits level 1, then all the guard patterns are going to change. And if I did a bunch of research in the first cycle to see where their patterns were and could tell what those patterns were without the tagging, then all that information would be lost. But since I have tagging on, like right now, if I tag, let me finish this turn real fast and I can show you. You're gonna stay still. You're gonna stay still. You're gonna stay still, and I think sure I'll make you stay still too. So I'm gonna end this turn. You're going to see a whole bunch of activity of all these different things moving around that I can currently see right now.
Yeah.
Investigating the area.
And he can't see me right now. I'll get to that in a second. But now the patrols have changed, and so therefore all the pathways have now changed to something else. And tagging still allows me to see all those pathways, so I can anticipate. Like before, I wouldn't have known that this droid was going to enter this room, and I wouldn't have made the assumption that he would, so I would have said, oh, well, Zoo can move to this spot and hide behind this door, and it's not going to be a problem. Well, now, I already know now that it is going to be a problem, so I can already take steps to avoid that, which I would otherwise not be able to do and have to react to, or have to waste a rewind to do, which in Expert Plus, you only get 1 rewind before you can't rewind anymore and have to just forfeit the game. Or Zoo just gets knocked out, and then I have to either revive him with a med gel, or I have to drag him to the exit, because you can also drag people if they're down. This guard looked around, but when he looked around, he looked through me because right now I'm cloaked. This person is cloaked, and I have a cloaking rig that cloaks you for 2 turns. So I'm going to become visible in the next turn. And but since this drone is going to move over here for that turn anyway, then that means that and this guard is not going anywhere because he's stationary, then I'm still safe. But I'm then not going to be able to get into this room without noticing the guard. Like the red is the guard definitely sees you. The yellow is, oh, the guard saw something, but he's not sure what he saw. So he's going to go investigate it, but he didn't actually spot you.
Gotcha.
And this, because the drone is coming through here, I know that as soon as the drone enters this door, then it's going to be able to see me, so that means I know for sure that I need to move out of the way and go somewhere else instead. So
yeah, makes sense.
So yeah, that's kind of how this whole game ends up working out.
Cool.
It's fun. I just watched a little bit of Yahtzee and Gabe on Let's Drown Out playing XCOM.
Yeah.
And now it makes me really want to play XCOM. Because I haven't played XCOM, but it looks like it's a lot of fun because it's a similar tactical...
You'd be good at it.
Yeah, similar tactical kind of game. So yeah, that's this week's episode of Rooks. Thanks to anybody that made it through this whole thing. It's possible I might edit out some stuff, like if I can, some filler stuff to shorten this, because I really don't want this to be a 2-hour long video if it was 2 hours. But
it's got to be pretty close.
But thanks for all of you that have listened and continue to watch the series. I think that our viewership has gone down some because I think we're kind of boring, maybe, but that's only kind of half the point. But thanks for the people that are still loyal to what we're kind of doing, and hopefully maybe at some point we'll increase our membership again and get this stuff figured out. Until next week, Yeah, until next week. We'll see you next
Yeah.
time then.
Bye.
Bye.